Welcome, everybody. Take in that beautiful tropical view behind us. Soak it in. Let the vibes of the Polynesian vibes seep into your system as you detoxify from the city that crumbles you into stone. This is a terrible intro. awful. Welcome to Creepy Old Crypt. The heat is getting. We have been walking in the Florida sun for days now, and it's not helping.
No.
But this is our Epic Universe episode. In case you clicked it, we are going to talk about Epic Universe, the new theme park in Orlando.
We went yesterday.
Yes.
So, and we have a lot to say about it.
A lot to say, but we are going to talk about, there's a lot to talk about with theme parks in general, because a lot has happened here in Florida. They just got rid of Muppet. This trip happened to intersect with a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
Where it just so happened that Muppet Vision was going to close. I already had a sinking suspicion, that we were going to see the close. I kept hearing for years they are going to close Tom Sawyer Island at Disney World.
Yeah. That
they're going to bulldoze the river, which hearing that was like, you've got to be kidding me. They have the coolest Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah.
Of anybody. So I was like, well, I got to see that too. And then Epic Universe ended up opening. So it was a very eventful week in Florida. So I was like, I'm going. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna wrap up some projects and just go out there.
Yeah.
And then at the last second, Kevin was like, hold up, I'm in.
I'm going.
And he went too, and we were like, okay, then this is the Epic Universe mission.
Yep.
We're gonna say goodbye to the old stuff, check out the new stuff, and everything in between.
Yeah.
So later in this episode, we will talk about the other stuff we encountered on this trip, and our thoughts on new and passing things. But the focus is Epic Universe, and we're going to talk about that. I want to point out up front, I'm epic'd out. I got the Dark Universe shirt featuring, I got Victoria Frankenstein. Was that her name? That was
yes.
The whole monster family. Got the Dark Universe hat. I'm kind of like a Dark Universe guy now. I'm kind of Darkmoor pilled a little bit. That's not my review. Maybe I'm wearing all this stuff to make fun of.
Yeah, maybe because you hated it.
Yeah, exactly. Or I thought it was so corny, But anyway, we went to the new park. We went to the new Epic Universe.
We got there like early.
Yes.
Before opening, because we didn't have a thing at the hotel or anything like that. Right. So we didn't get the extra hour, but we still showed up at that for that extra hour just in case, or we wanted to make sure if lines were super long to get in and all that kind of stuff.
For the record, I want to say we did not stay at the Helios Hotel.
That's what it's called, yeah.
And when you do that, it's connected to the park. You can just go in, which I love a hotel that's connected to the theme park. Not that I'm always able to stay at those, I would love to do the one in, I think it's Paris, the hotel is there.
Yes.
Like goes
at
Main Street.
Disneyland Paris, yeah.
And it's so funny because when they opened that, I think they suggested it to Bob Eisner, and he was like, they want to go home. People want to go to the hotel and get away from the theme park. They don't want to stay in the theme park. And the designers are like, no, they do.
Yeah,
they want to stay in the theme park.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. And yeah, that's like one of the most beloved hotels.
Imagine having like a window that overlooks like Main Street and the castle and stuff. How would nobody not want that?
They built the Miracosta at Tokyo Disney Sea, and it's so much fun. There's like people waving to the guests. They overlook the bay at night. Like I got to stay there someday. I hope so. Anyway, yeah, we didn't stay there. Nor did we say, for the record, we are at the Polynesian Village Resort here in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
With a wonderful view of, I believe, is this the Seven Seas Lagoon?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get it mixed up with what's that? Where's Bay Lake? I'm still not.
There's a lot of bodies of water around here.
Yeah.
So.
I was getting mixed up. But anyway, Yeah, we're in front of that, but we didn't stay at the Polynesian either. We just thought this would be a way better
so we took the monorail over here just
background
to
for our
have
work.
a good background. Yeah.
Yeah, and also we debated shooting this in Epic Universe Park, but that was also not an option. We'll get into it more later, but weather became a factor.
It became a major factor.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping we could shoot more video. The plan was to
Yeah.
shoot more videos in the park itself.
Yeah.
We got like one
Yep.
or something, but you'll see stuff from it throughout
Yes.
this. Yeah, weather did impede our day a little bit, although we got to do what we wanted to do.
We got to do everything
Yeah.
that we wanted to do.
Except there was one land we didn't see at all.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all that aside, we went to the park, got there in the morning. The first thing was, so when you go to Epic Universe, it was, what I had heard is that there's an original land. What I had heard is that the theme of Epic Universe is you are in this celestial park, is what they call it.
Yeah.
You're in a park, and it just contains the different portals and gateways to different worlds. That's all I had known.
Yeah, I didn't look anything up.
Yeah.
Like what it looked like or anything like that. I kind of wanted to go in as blind as possible.
I knew certain things just through osmosis. Just like the opening gate of the park is the Chronos.
I did see that.
And that's what lets people travel through like makes the portals work or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know but yeah, I heard but it's a celestial park is what unites all the different places, whatever, and it's an original park. Like it's not based on an IP.
No.
There's an original park. What was your take
on Celestial Park? I thought it was cool because it has a massive fountain as the centerpiece, which Disney's taking out all their fountains.
Yeah.
And
all the water features, it feels like they're going away.
Yeah.
And Universal added a gigantic one.
Like one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. There's a carousel there that I didn't go on because it looked cool. It's very unique. It's not a normal carousel. But I
coaster.
No, there's a carousel. I forgot what it's called. There is a coaster as well. But the carousel, it doesn't, it's weird. It's like they're all on the ground.
Oh, I didn't even look at this.
It's not,
Yeah.
But I had other stuff to do, so we didn't go on that.
Yeah,
but overall, I really, really liked just the look of it. We just kind of went around it and looked at everything. And
I think it's cool. I how do I say this? I have peculiar thoughts on this, the park concept and Celestial Park.
Yeah.
It was very nice. It was weird, just in general, being in a brand new theme park. When was the last time you could say that?
Yeah, I was saying
it was
so weird because it's been so long since I've been at a theme park where I don't know where anything is. I don't know anything about it. Like I'm like, where's the bathroom? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'll just find it.
Yeah.
Like,
kind of
or
amazing.
look on a map. But like normally I'm in a theme park and I go, oh, there's one right around this corner. I know there's one. And all that kind of stuff.
So so that was cool. I would say Celestial Park, while it is cool, it's an original concept and it's not based on an IP. It's also, I'm not trying to say this in a negative way. It's also just a park. Like it is a park. They call it Celestial Park, and it's like a really, really nice park, possibly made by like as a tribute to the celestial beings or something. I don't know. But it's not like it's Galaxy's Edge. People were saying like, it's incredible they funded something like this. It's just it's a nice looking park.
It's a big budget hub.
Yeah.
Just like Disney.
It's just, it's not like a land, I don't know.
I never considered it like a land.
No,
I know they do because they have a couple rides in it.
Yeah. But so I guess it's a land, but it's not like they funded something and it has theming to the level of Harry Potter or Galaxy's Edge. It doesn't have any of those things. So I do think there's a little bit of like, I can't believe this got funded. Well, I can. It's just a nice hub. It's just, you're going to need that, so I don't know. it was nice, but I also don't think it's worth that kind of, I don't know. It's
No.
like, okay, you know, whatever. But still a nice place.
Yeah.
Very cool to nice, really nice looking, nice place to walk around. So that's what I mean. I'm not trying to diss it.
Yeah.
Just trying to place it in the right place. But then I also have another feeling that I can't sort out here.
Okay.
I don't know what to think here. Maybe you can help me sort through my feelings, because my therapist isn't here. I can't decide if I love or don't love the theme of the park. Meaning, are they going to mess with our table, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Sorry,
they're adding an umbrella.
Oh, okay. There's some umbrella drama happening with the tables.
Yeah.
Anyway, where I am stuck is, I think it's kind of cool that this park just went, all right, the theme of the park, let's not make any misnomers about the theme. It is gateways to different worlds.
Yep.
This is the park of the one IP themed lands. You know what I mean? So you're going to have a gateway to Nintendo. You're going to have a gateway to Universal Monsters.
How to
Train Your
Harry
Dragon. You're going to have all those things instead of it being like shoehorning them into a park that already has stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of like that the premise of it is, it's almost video game like, that you are in the hub world. What portal would you like to go through? And then you go through and the aesthetic completely changes.
Yes.
You know, you go through the dark universe one, and it's like, oh, suddenly now all the plant life is twisted and gnarled and burnt, and that was really cool. And they did a good job making it like, whoa, when you pass through that portal, the park does not look the same.
No. And you can't see that.
And you can't see it from the other side.
No, you're in a whole different world now.
So that was really cool. At the same time, and hear me out on this, and you tell me if I'm being a little jackweasel here. It's also, to me, maybe something a little nihilistic about that concept, because I look at it and I go, is that all theme parks are now? Is make a land about that property, make a land about that property,
yeah.
and the theme here is just, we got 5 of them. I don't know. Part of me thinks like, we got to think bigger than that. But they do it so well that, I'm also like not complaining. I'm there and I'm like, this is amazing, you know? So I don't know. There's part of me deep down that's like, oh, maybe, I don't know. Is that the way we're doing things now? We're just making a list of the properties? But at the same time,
company owns at that time,
yeah, but at the same time, if it's a favorite thing of mine, I want to go there. Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge, I wanted to go there.
Yeah. It gets people out.
Nintendo.
For sure.
So I like the concept, and I also have a little hesitation. Like, I don't know. Is that the way we're doing things now? It's just not thinking any deeper than that. Just here, go around the ring and go to the property you like. But at the same time, maybe that's what we want. Yeah. I don't know. I go back in circles.
It's also time, because like when Disneyland was built, like they had Pirates of the Caribbean, but there was I don't think there was less IP in existence under their belt.
There wasn't a pirate,
and so they would just, hey, I want a pirate ride, and they build a pirate ride and stuff like that.
I will say though, that Disney, like Harry Potter Land, started this whole thing. Yeah. Where now everybody just makes lands based on one IP. And I feel like it's always interesting to see different companies, like specifically Disney and Universal, kind of moving in, ebbing and flowing with each other. Like one gets an idea first, the other copies it, and then the other copies that, and the other,
100%.
And the other realizes that's out of date, and then they do something else. I feel like even Disney right now is starting to go, oh, maybe we don't do just full, like, one IP lands. Even they now are starting to, everybody probably heard the news recently that the Avatar land is going to be in California Adventure in the where Hollywood Land is or whatever. Even that, they're not calling it a land anymore.
No, they're calling it what, an experience?
Avatar Experience. Yeah. It'll be right there. And people are saying, it doesn't look that big. Like maybe it's just the ride and a couple little things. It's not a full land. And I'm starting to think, maybe the future isn't there. Like they all doubled down on that, and it's like, we built a Cars land in California Adventure, but now we can't do anything else there. Yeah. So maybe that wasn't the way. And it's like, it's just so funny to me. Like, yeah, I wonder if there was a guy who figured this out 70 years ago, that a land with different properties in it would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Walt Disney did this in the 50s and it worked.
Yep.
You know, you see the new land coming to Animal Kingdom, and it's the South Americas. They're not doing. There was a rumor it was going to be Indiana Jones land. There was a rumor it was going to be Encanto land. And now it's like, no, it's South America's. It'll have all those things. It's like, okay. You know what I mean? It's like they kind of see what's coming. Like, maybe that's, maybe single IP lands are not the way to go.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Anyway, so, the trees had not grown.
No. It's a brand new park. Even like the paint's new. We even saw some like little details still being worked on.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I enjoy that because it's like, oh, this is a brand new park.
Yeah, it really was. It
was
really neat to be there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those are my feelings on the theme of the park, but in general though, very cool. It was very cool. I'm not trying to be a hater or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm questioning. We've entered the future of theme parks, and I'm questioning the further future. So that's my take on that.
Yeah.
Now, we got there early. We elected to go. A lot of people have been saying, when you rope drop the park, when you open it, don't go straight to Nintendo because every family's going to do that.
Yeah.
Don't go straight to Harry Potter because the line's going to be nuked.
Those are going to be the two longest lines, basically, because they nuked it the morning.
Yes, but we were afraid of the weather the whole time. We kept hearing that day was going to get hit.
Yeah, there was a storm coming.
Yes.
For sure.
And so we were like, I think we got to just bite the bullet and do Nintendo. Because for the record, when the weather hits at Epic Universe, and this is, I would say, a flaw of the park.
Yes.
Half the rides there, they just shut down.
Anything
because they're outdoors.
That's outside or coaster,
yeah,
rain delay. It just shuts down if it's raining. And I'm like, I have to go on Donkey Kong.
Yep. The Donkey Kong minecart coaster.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, we should hit that first because monsters and stuff isn't shutting down in the rain.
Yeah.
That's gonna stay open. Everything in the land I want to go in the most is gonna stay open. So let's get that out of the way. And
I wanted to do the Yoshi ride
in
Super Nintendo World. That was going to shut down with the rain.
Yep.
So it was like, it's in both our best interest. Let's go. Let's go to Nintendo now.
Yeah.
And it was long waits, but it was okay.
Yeah, I did end up waiting like 2 hours, but
it was 2 hours.
Yeah,
wow.
It was just under 2 hours. I know, maybe an hour and 45. It was like 2 hours when I was walking out of the ride.
Right.
So I sometimes will just set a stopwatch on my as soon as I enter, just to see how accurate the time is.
Yeah.
And it was I waited a little less than what it said.
Okay,
so
that's good.
And then you went on Yoshi.
I did the Yoshi ride. So I'll just talk about that really quick. Mm-hmm. That was only I had seen stuff from Tokyo about. Yeah. And I was so bummed we didn't get it in Hollywood because I love a good people mover style ride, and that's all it was.
Yes.
But not very long and not very interesting. And I knew it wasn't going to be, but I was like,
you got to do it.
When the park opened, it had a 20-minute wait. I was like, I'll do 20. Yeah. I could do 20. And now I've done it, and I would not wait longer than that for that ride. But I will say, I've seen some people outright say, like, this ride is not good.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to tell you that, because it really isn't very good.
Is there any, like, I thought I heard there's, like, some gameplay with it or something?
When you go through the ride, you see where eggs are, and you hit that color egg so you can collect it.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay. Oh, there's a red egg in here.
Yeah.
I beefed that. I was like, I got this. This is a baby ride. And then the ride ended, and I was like, I never found blue. Oh. Where was the blue egg? I think there is one indoor room in that ride. The rest just goes outside. And that one indoor room had so many things from Yoshi's Island. I am, for the record, I think Yoshi's Island is like one of my favorite games of my life. Mm-hmm. I just, as a child, immensely appreciated that game. And I know all my friends hated hearing Baby Mario cry, but I didn't care. I loved that game. And there was so much stuff from that in one room that I was like, oh, that was transcendent.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that was cool in that ride. But I think the blue egg was in there, and
it's gotta be.
I wasn't
and you were
looking.
you were just looking at all the cool stuff in there, and you didn't bother doing the egg.
Exactly.
Egg
yeah. So anyway, it was cute. Went around. Oh no, a fat Yoshi over here. Oh no. Okay, it's over. All right. Yoshi, that's all I have to say about that. Okay, so tell us about Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong was awesome. It was worth the wait.
Well, I walked into the land, and that was awesome.
That was sick. As soon as I went to the line, I saw all the stuff. I saw those drum game and stuff like that. And I saw a lot of people tapping the thing to get the Kong.
Collecting the letters around the land. Yeah.
But I skipped that. I just went straight to the line because I wanted to get in as soon as possible. The wait wasn't too bad. It was all covered, so I wasn't ever in the sun at all. Yeah. Which is what makes it brutal. But the ride was really, really cool. The queue was cool. It had a Cranky Kong animatronic.
Oh, with the bird. I really wanted to see that.
Is it Squawks or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That was cool. He just talks about the storyline of the ride and how you got to get these guys out of the temple before they steal your banana or something very simple like that. Yeah. And but the ride was really cool. The ride system was really unique, but it's like jerky. Really? It just shakes you a lot in the thing because of the way the ride system is. That you're not really on a track; it's just the side. Yeah. And so you can jump over stuff, things like that. But all the animatronics, and I'll go on coasters and stuff, but when a coaster has like dark ride elements to it or animatronics, I'm in. Yep. I love that stuff. And there was tons of animatronics, tons of like dark ride elements, inside parts, and it was really cool. I think my favorite part is this part where you're going and you have to like dodge other mine carts. So you just kind of go like this through just an indoor dark area. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And that was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Only knock on it was and this isn't any fault of anything but the ride system, is that it kind of just like you just kind of shake a lot in the thing. It's not smooth. That
kind of feels like it should be that way though if it's a minecart.
Yeah, exactly.
That seems right.
It fits with the theme of the whole thing. Yeah. So I really, really enjoyed that ride.
That's great. Yeah. I was gonna say so the land was really well themed. It was trippy walking through the gateway, and immediately it was just like, whoa, that was weird. I just walked into the Super Nintendo game. There's Kong's house. What's his name? The chill guy. Cool Kong.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can never remember his name.
There's so many in the Kong family.
But anyway, the guy with the plane.
Yes.
He his plane was right there. Mm-hmm. You could buy stuff in it.
Yeah.
It was so cool. The only thing I would diss, really, visually, was incredible. The music was incredible. All the audio there. The only thing I would diss is they have an activity with drums that you can play, where you can play the bongos, and there's a crate with Rambi, the rhino.
Oh, I didn't know that's his name.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, I think so.
And if everyone plays the bongos in unison, it will invite him to come out. But it was not clear to anyone how to do that or what rhythm they needed to be in.
Yeah, there were lights on top of the box that I think you had to like left and right, and it would just...
Yeah, I think you had to match the lights that were happening there. They had a cast member stationed there that was not interested in helping.
No.
It was literally just...
And then failed.
And people were just walking up and all getting together. Okay, I've been doing this for 10 minutes. All right, and then leaving.
Yeah.
Like I was there the whole morning while I was waiting for you to get off the coaster.
To get off the
I just saw all day. I was like, no one has gotten this animatronic to come out of Rambi. People are just getting bored and walking away.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Constantly.
It was like a source of negativity instead of like something fun. It was just people going, and like I said, that cast member was just like,
just staring off. I did see, because while they were playing, I was looking at that cast member. Every once in a while, he hit a button near one of the barrels.
Oh, really?
And it would start that, because the initial one would be like him kind of like, the front of it would kind of open up a bit, and then it would go away. And that always happened after he hit that button. And I bet you if he hits it again, it would do it, but he never did. I saw that button. I went up to it. I could have pushed it again. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, people kept playing bongos, and it would the crate would half open, but the rhino wouldn't come out. And I was just like, what are we doing? Like, just open it. Like, who cares?
But you did it.
Yeah, and then I got pissed off, and I went over. I saw other people playing on the bongos. I got pissed and joined in. Oh, there we go. See, if you want a job done, you do it yourself. Thank you. You too. I got up there. We saw that thing in 2 seconds. Like I said, easiest thing on earth. I've been watching people walk away from this board all morning long. Anyway,
Yeah.
and I was going hard. I was looking like Tito Puente, like.
You brought that gamer energy to the land.
Yeah, and then that thing came out. I almost
Yeah.
didn't get it on camera, but I did get some.
Yeah.
So he came out. That was cool. Ramby animatronic. Did
Yep.
not expect that.
No.
Yeah, I feel like the land could have used a couple more moments like that, and the bongo one, something less frustrating than the bongo thing. I just feel like people were going, ugh, and walking away.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if that worked.
I saw so many, because even when I got off the ride, you were waiting for that, and just
Yeah.
to try to film it. And I saw like 3 or 4 people just go, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm
and walk
good.
away, and it's like,
Yeah.
nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So anyway, but otherwise the land was really cool.
that was so cool.
Super Nintendo World itself
It's so
was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much bigger than the
I was
Hollywood
not
one.
expecting that.
No.
It's massive
The-
compared to the one in Hollywood.
The Hollywood one is just kind of shoved into a corner.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any room
Yeah,
in
yeah.
in Hollywood for that. But it's really neat what they did with that corner. You know what I mean? Like you see it and then it's like,
Yeah.
they did a lot with the space.
They
but
fit a lot in there.
That's all they could do.
Yeah.
And then in Florida, we're going up an escalator into a pipe. Like the
And
pipe
it's like,
that has
yeah.
an escalator in it. And
Yeah.
you go, and then it's like, oh, Super Nintendo World is multi-story here.
Mhm.
Like you go down into the ground, and there's Yoshi's snack hut
Yep.
and his land.
Yeah.
And Yoshi's ride, and then you go back up, and there's the Mario Kart ride, and then and then you go through the thing, and there's Donkey Kong. I mean, it was just like
It was weird.
it's like a labyrinth
Yeah,
there.
it
Whereas
was
in
really
Hollywood,
cool.
it's just you walk in, and there it all
There it
is.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I found it very weird when we walked in, and I was like, oh, I have to go downstairs
Yeah.
to get to where Donkey Kong and everything is for the other part of the land.
Yeah.
That was surreal. I was like, okay, I had no idea where it was.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was very impressed by all that. I did, while Kevin was on the ride.
Yeah.
Again, I had plenty of time to kill. I had been to Toadstool Cafe in Hollywood.
Mm.
It's okay. The food is themed really cute.
Yeah.
That's why you go.
Mm.
The taste is secondary.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But they had something. There was something they didn't get in the Hollywood. There's something that they have at the Japanese Toadstool Cafe.
And we were bummed when it didn't come to our Nintendo World at our
in
Universal
Hollywood.
Studios in Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, what? You're not bringing that over here? And then the Florida one opened, and it's there.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're kidding me. And that was the Princess Peach Mario 64 cake.
Yeah.
You could actually order it in Florida. And I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I have to go there, and I have to get that.
Mhm.
And I went, and it's like, warning, this is for 3 to 4 people. I'm like,
And you're alone.
Whatever.
I'm on a ride. So.
you were still on the ride.
Yeah.
So I ordered the
The
cake.
Cake.
I got the cake. It was that big. Holy cow. I'm just, wow. For some moments in life, there are no words. I realized I needed to have regular food too.
Yeah,
so
because we hadn't eaten at this point. This was still in the morning.
Okay, I made the decision I cannot have my only meal today be a full cake. I know a lot of people may be surprised by that, so I'm gonna hold off on this. Hopefully Kevin shows up soon, and then I did order normal food for myself. They had the Yoshi Alfredo, fettuccine Alfredo, as Yoshi would want it. So I got some real food. I'm going in. So I got another thing that we don't have in Hollywood. They served it on FanFest nights, but that was it.
Really?
Was the Yoshi fettuccine Alfredo.
Mm-hmm.
Yoshi got his own green pasta, or it had green shit in it.
Yeah.
It was all the food there is just whatever.
I would say, yeah, the Toad stuff, there's a couple items I liked at our Toad restaurant in Hollywood, but overall, I think the food is kind of mediocre and hard to get into.
Yeah.
But they changed that for this one.
In Hollywood, you have to like make not a reservation. It's like you have to scan the QR code and put in your name for the day, or you can't go in.
That's it. Yeah.
Because it's so tiny. And then the one here in Florida was like a football stadium size. So it's like, no, just walk in, sit down.
Yep.
We'll bring you your food. And it was like, oh, okay. It was very weird.
Was it an order at the table sort of deal?
Yes.
Where I love that
Universal, has kind of nailed it with that, where you sit down at a table and just order food.
You just sit anywhere you want, and then you just order on your phone. You beep the number of your table, and they just bring it out to you.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah, that's really cool that they do that. I don't know why everyone doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the fettuccine was okay. That cake was pretty good. It was kind of... Kevin has a vendetta against whipped cream, so he may not have liked...
Whipped cream is not good.
It is, and it was there, and it was very good. But it was more of a buttercreamy kind of...
I like buttercream.
Icing.
Yeah.
But I still don't think you would have liked it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to eat more than a little bit. So I had a little bit, and then ate the pasta, and then went back for dessert. And by the time I was done, I think I ate 3/4 of that cake.
Yeah.
And I walked out going, bro, you almost ate a whole cake. Like, what did you do, you idiot?
This is like the start of the day too, so it's like...
Yeah, and so I kept saying that through the day. Anybody else eat 3/4 of a cake? Anybody? That just me? Feeling a little peaked. Anyway. So whatever on that place. But the treat I had in the park that was so good.
Oh yeah, I remember you guys right at the end.
Yoshi's smoothie.
Yeah.
And it was like a sour apple smoothie with mint leaves in it, and I don't remember what else.
Yeah, it was just this green like slushy smoothie drink.
Yeah, it was in a cute little custom Yoshi cup.
Yeah.
They did a great job, and that was tasty, especially in the heat. That was great. I've never sweat more in my life than this week.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever sweat more.
It's been so hot this week.
Yeah. We're here in June, I guess. What do we expect? But still.
It's June in Florida.
So anyway, so then we moved on, and we were like, all right, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Monster.
It was right next to, like, in going around the hub. It was the next land, basically.
Yeah.
So we decided to just check that place out.
Yeah. So we went to the Monster. They call it Dark Universe.
Dark Universe, which was what I was most excited for out of this whole place.
Me too. And the town that you go to is called Darkmoor.
Yeah.
And it's where all these classic characters and monsters live, I guess. And there is... Frankenstein Castle contains the big attraction. They have a werewolf coaster, but we didn't do that.
No, it reminds me of like our like Wizarding World, Harry Potter in Hollywood. They like built this giant ride, and then they just threw this little kind of coaster next to it.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I don't care. I'm never gonna go on that.
Yeah.
So did not ride that. Did not really care about riding that. We wanted to focus on the main enchilada.
Exactly. So the main thing was this ride, Monsters Unchained. That's in the Frankenstein Manor.
Yeah.
We walk around the land. It's great. They have a violin player walking around playing like sad shit.
And she was really good. And she
really
just walked around like all the guests and stuff, just playing music, which I thought was really cool. And it's like, that's not even a character.
Yeah.
That's just somebody playing spooky music.
Depressing music.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so that was really, really dope.
Yeah.
There was, what else? We didn't see him, but I have heard that even though he's not on the ride, at least that we could see.
Yes.
The Invisible Man walks around.
Really?
Yeah, and I was hoping he would pop up, but we didn't see him.
We saw Igor.
Yeah, Igor did run by
real quick.
Point.
He was like going at things. Oh,
yeah. But the Invisible Man sometimes walks around, so you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen any footage.
You kept away from that.
Yeah, I need to find that now.
He's walking around in like a smoking jacket, and he's all bandaged up with sunglasses on.
Okay.
And so he just walks up to people, like it. and he acts like surprised when people can see him. Yeah. People have asked, where is he in the ride? And people have said, I forget who, but someone said, every single scene. Anyway, but yeah, so that's cool that they do that. We didn't see it, but that's cool. Yeah, what else? There was all kinds of, you were hearing weird sounds in that land.
Yeah, the sound is really well done because there's a bunch of smoke coming out of the well, and that's really cool. As soon as you enter the park, there's almost like a gated entrance to the catacombs.
Yeah.
And if you go up to it, you can just hear a bunch of like monster stuff down there, and I think that's the start of the storyline for the ride.
That's true.
Like that is like the first kind of getting you into the mood of like what is going on and everything like that. And it's really cool just going up to that and you hear like and everything. But there were some gift shops. There was a like makeup experience.
Yes, that's another thing I was kind of bummed about. Everyone is I was planning to book the Darkmoor makeup experience. You can pay. So they have a couple options. You could go and for $35 they paint your face.
Yeah, whatever monster you want.
More of a kids thing, but they'll do it. And then there's like a premium, almost $200 version.
Yeah.
Where they give you the full makeup job and accessories.
Like prosthetics and stuff like that.
Where it's like, make me Frankenstein, and they'll give you the bolts, the collar, the shoulder shit, you know. They'll give you everything. Yeah. And I was going to do it. I was like, for the video. Yeah. But again, it was like, it's 100 degrees. I'm going to sweat all this off.
It's all going to just
and
fall
it's about
off.
to pour rain. I didn't see anyone. We saw one woman in that studio.
Yep.
But aside from that, no one was in makeup.
And she was getting the very basic, just the paint on her face. Yeah.
But I thought it was cool, and I guess they'll give you like prosthetic work, like you could do Gillman and get like gills and stuff like that. So I thought it was cool they offered that. You know, if you're a horror movie fan, you're whatever. Makeup is part of the zeitgeist, that you want that kind of thing, and not everybody knows a makeup expert. We're lucky that we do.
Yes.
Garrett is in our lives, so that works out for us. But yeah, if you don't have access to something like that, I think that's extremely cool.
That is.
But yeah, it wasn't a good day to do that, and I'm sorry. I really wanted to. I wanted to do this, record this as Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I wanted to record this in the park even, but the weather wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
But anyway, they have that there, a couple places to eat.
Yeah, they have two places to eat. We chose one over the other because it looked cooler.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about that after the ride. I'm not sure, but one was like a Dracula theme. One was like Frankenstein's the windmill he hides out in.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Big ass. They have a big ass windmill that lights on fire every 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And they have a little quick service place in there.
It's themed after like a tavern, I think.
Yeah.
And
then, but where we went was the Dracula one, the loosely Dracula
thing,
called Das Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Where you go and it's all like remnants of old old vampiric stuff. Mm-hmm. There's like Dracula, I don't know, family, ancestors.
Yeah, up in like the walls.
And their corpses are hanging on the walls.
There's even blood like pooling at their feet.
Yeah.
Like, and coming off the thing and stuff. It's just like, it's a cool atmosphere to eat in.
It was just blowing my mind. All right, everybody. This is heavy. We are in...
Or hell.
Is it? Yeah, it could be. But we are in the depths of Darkmoor. In the apex of the dark universe, and I've been waiting to try this food place that I heard about when they announced it, called, what was it, the Steakhouse?
Yeah, it's like Das Steakhouse.
Das Steakhouse. But I thought it was going to be like harder to get in here. We came at a good time because it just started raining, so now people are coming in. But look at this place. It's like we're in the bowels of Dracula's castle. Like, even the seats. Like, just look at the seats over there. The lighting has changed. Even just the guest seats are, like, upholstered, all creepy. They got bats on the back of them, And they've got, like, relatives of Dracula that have been staked, that are preserved here. Over there, some coffins coming out of the tomb. Anyway, what they're known for is the steak. They brought us strip steak and then poured blood on them.
Yeah. They like,
Dude,
as a display, they're like, okay.
that was so sick.
Pour
And then
blood
look
all
at the
over it.
drinks. Come on. That's so cute. Anyway, I'm blown away by this already. It's like everything in this monster land or whatever. Okay, so we got the steak, and then what else did we get? I got La Botte Cotta.
Yeah,
I think it's
La
La Botte Cotta. That's the brain
And
matter.
I forgot what mine was called. It was like
Velvet Death or some Red Death or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it's got
Velvet
maggots
Death.
on it.
And Kevin's got maggot mouth. Look at that. There's all these maggots on it. This is great.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm blown away. Okay. We got to know if this is any good. Well, you try a bite of the steak. Might as well. You try it.
Might get some blood on there.
Yeah, let us know if it's good. You know, it's theme park steak, so I don't know how good, it could be. You let me know.
They didn't ask how we wanted to cook. So
No, they did not ask, which is worrisome.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Not bad.
Really? Not bad?
That's decent.
Okay. Okay, yeah, do you mind? Give me a second here. I'll tell you if it's good. I'll let you know. I like that the silverware is black. So this isn't just some generic stuff, They got the good stuff. Okay, I gotta get some of that blood on there. I'm going nice and fat. I want the fat in there, I want to taste some remnants, you know what I mean? I'm not cutting any of that off. For a quick service restaurant, that's great.
Yeah.
For a theme park, that's great.
I agree.
Yeah, they nailed it. All right. Okay. And we got like
potato?
roasted carrot and potato and all that stuff. All right. You already know mashed potato. You know they're good. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna wash it down with some of this. This is like a mixture of like Sprite and spinal fluid or something. I don't remember.
Does this turn you into like Heckle and Jekyll?
Don't spoil Dr. Jekyll. I don't want to say what happens, but there's something not good. All right, let's try it. Whoa. That's good. Whoa, it turned red as soon as I drank it. I'm transforming. I'm just kidding, guys. It's just me. That was a little improv. What does this remind me of? It's like Sprite and like Ecto Cooler or something. No, not Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
It's tasty, it's sweet, but it's got just enough chemicals in it that it really does feel like a lab experiment, I don't know. Does that remind you of something?
I can't put
There's something familiar about it. It's like maybe they dug up Pepsi Blue. Could be. Anyway, okay, we gotta try. Let's just try these desserts. Let's not mince words here. You want to try yours?
Yeah, I'll try mine.
All right. Or you know what? Try yours and mine. Break the fork free.
Let's get another fork.
All right, guys. It's been a long. We went to a couple parks, but this is unbelievable here. All right, you're trying the Velvet Death.
Yeah, I'm trying the Velvet Death. I think I get some maggots.
Yeah, get
on
them.
there.
I'm curious how the maggots are. That's what I want to know.
Let's see. That's good too.
Really?
The cake is really moist.
Really? Okay.
No.
Do you mind if I'll get
try it.
a clean fork going in there? I'm gonna try. I want to try the maggots. I'm getting a fistful of maggots. Ooh, they're crunchy. Can I take away from here? Am I messing up the art if I do that? Okay. Get some more on there. Solid chocolate cake. That's good. A far cry from this morning while Kevin was waiting for the Kong coaster.
Yeah.
I went to eat at Super Nintendo World and ordered the Princess Peach cake,
With a note from her to Mario or something.
It's a cake for 4 people, and I ordered it for myself. That cake was like a whipped cream fiasco.
You would have hated it.
Not good.
You would have been dying. It would.
Whipped cream is not a replacement for frosting.
It was today. No, I wouldn't say that. It was better. It was more buttercreamy.
Okay.
But it was still
On the side of
relatively in the Costco sheet cake department, relatively. But they decorated it pretty. The cookie was her note was nasty.
Oh, really?
That was like a flavorless cookie. It wasn't very good, but it looked good. That was much better. This thing was much better. Okay, you should try a bite of this.
Yeah, I'll try it. I'm going to do the frontal lobe here.
Yeah, get the frontal lobe in there. I don't want to remember who I am. Oh, there is?
Yeah, it's crunchy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's the skull I'm breaking through.
All right, break on through.
Good, it's like a
Really?
mousse.
Really? It's like mousse. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, get some of that brain matter in there. All right, here we go. Oh, that's really good. Is that a cookie? I'm just like, it feels like it might just be chocolate.
It's like white chocolate.
Yeah.
It is.
No, that's a good dessert. That's a good. These were both really good.
These work.
Wow. Okay, well, we got a steak to eat now. You've been given the gist. I think you get it. We'll wash it down with some spinal fluid. Shout out Aaron Yeager. Shout out Zeke Yeager. Or Zeke, what was Zeke's last name? Was it Yeager? Was it? Did he go by, didn't he change it? Zeke the Plumber.
Yeah,
He's scary. Where is he in this land?
No, where's
Zeke the Plumber? He haunts you and he can smell your fears. Can he or not? Anyway. See, I'm locked in on the Epic Universe. Or no, I'm sorry, Dark. Is that what does it say?
Epic Universe. It's like the guy.
It's like the guy with the QVC thing.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of a moth, but he thinks it's a horse.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, look at this horse.
What I thought you were gonna say is they invited Andy Cohen
that-
to the opening of Epic Universe, and he's like, I'm so excited to ride the rides at Epic Adventure. It's like they flew you out here and you didn't remember the name.
Bungled the name.
Yeah. I'm just like, that's where it really hit me. I stood up and I'm looking at everything and I'm like, damn, no theme park would have touched this 10 or 20 years ago.
At all.
Oh, a theme park land that's horrifying and has blood and dead people. And I just feel like 10 to 20 years ago, never would they have gone near that.
No.
Portraits, there's like paintings on the wall of what it looks like the gates of hell. Like people rowing the boat to hell.
Yes.
And I'm like, I just never, as a 90s kid, they never would have done this. And it's so funny because I think I've talked about this on there before. It's like, it was a big milestone when 3 years ago, Disney put out merch for the Skeleton Dance. That cartoon where they're all dancing in the graveyard.
They're on a line, yeah.
Because again, there was a time they were afraid of the religious groups.
Yes, coming after.
Yeah, it's like, hell-related stuff and things like that. And it's so funny how that used to be the prevailing force of we're going to piss that group off. We're going to piss that group off. And that's not a thing now. I feel like now as the new generations come in, they go, oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about biblical hell. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. And actually maybe lighthearted compared to what's really happening in the world. I don't know. I mean to sound like Mr. like woke universe here. But you know what I mean? Like, it's so I don't know, that stuff's escaped now. I think in the 90s we still had a little bit of, because of our parents and things like that. They still had, they were boomers, so they still had that mentality from the 50s and 60s of like hell stuff being really, that's dark, that's offensive, and now we just, I'm going to hell. We joke about it all the time. We just, it is what it is. It's not an offense like it used to be. Maybe for some people it is. Leave a comment if you think it's unholy or evil that stuff's in the park. And I really mean that. I actually would like to hear from you because I just feel like I don't see that anymore. No. But let me know if you heard about it, and I'm really not making fun. If you heard about that and you felt uncomfortable with it, I actually want to hear your take.
Yeah.
Because I'm very surprised they went through with this. I sitting in that restaurant looking at paintings of people going to hell.
Yeah, and people with stakes in their chests and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They're horrific monsters like this.
Yeah.
Pinned to the
Pinned
wall.
to the wall. Yeah.
Like,
It's really shocking.
yeah.
So anyway, I'm curious everyone's thoughts.
But I also agree sometimes, and this is coming out more with like things like Halloween Horror Nights and Not
Yeah.
Scary Farm. It's that scary can be fun.
yeah,
too.
yeah, and I feel like it never used to be mainstream,
Yeah.
and now it is.
Yeah.
That people really are like, no, my favorite thing is like horrifying stuff.
Mhm.
The only thing, now I'll give my personal bias. This is my personal bias. Again, some of you may have your own. Maybe you're heavily religious. Maybe you just don't like stuff like this,
Yeah.
whatever. But I will say, I love it.
Mhm.
I used to want to die rather than go to like Not Scary Farm.
Yeah.
But then I just embraced it and sucked it up and
Mhm.
went,
Yeah.
and I had a phenomenal time.
It's yeah.
I'm still not the biggest like horror movie guy.
No.
But sometimes, but the culture is really fun.
Mhm.
Where I draw the line, I'll just say is, I mean, we're getting into a totally different conversation now, but I do think all the horror movies are more mainstream now. All of that culture is more mainstream
Mhm.
now. I also think there is a prevalence of like with podcasts, people listen to like murder podcasts
Yes, definitely.
and murder documentaries.
Mhm.
That's where I draw the line. I do not want to. Not that I'm even morally whatever with it,
Yeah.
but I have no interest.
That's
in
just
like,
not what you want to consume.
yeah, to me, I'm like, I don't want to hear about literal murders all
Mhm.
day. Like that seems like a bad time.
Yeah.
But it'd be foolish for me to say otherwise. They are in the mainstream now. There's 20-part documentaries about murders on Netflix
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I just think like those things are I don't know. Again, maybe juxtaposed against the real world, it's like almost over the top in a way that people can taste it now in a way that they couldn't before.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, not to bring that stuff into it, but so people just in general were thirsty for this. When this land got announced, it's like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. That's what everybody's popping off over.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting a dark universe. Plus,
Yeah.
it's funny we're using that name that of a failed movie franchise.
Yeah, we've been
Like,
laughing about the name Dark Universe for
forever.
years now.
Like, I'm just so glad it got used in some way, shape, or form. And I think a better form than the movies would have ever been.
Yeah, so being able to get merch that says Dark Universe was
Yeah.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
we ate there. Food was good.
yeah,
I enjoyed my food. We got
Yeah.
these drinks that had like, they were like in a beaker with like green. It was like a green drink with
yeah,
like glitter in it. and
yeah,
stuff
it was like
that.
a science
It
experiment.
was like a potion.
It was
or-
great.
Not a potion, but yeah, science experiment.
And even as a kid, no, I didn't want to be scared as a kid,
Yeah.
but I would have loved eating there.
Yes.
Oh my God, drinking from a test tube, eating a
Yeah.
bloody steak, I would have been like, yeah! That was so cool. So let's talk about the big enchilada here. The thing I was nervous about this entire trip was this ride that I heard was dope.
Yes.
Dark Universe had a dark ride.
Mm.
The
Like-
Monsters Unchained, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment. I think that's the full
Yes,
name.
I think it's the full name.
Anyway, I heard, dude, they went all in on big animatronics.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, this sounds cool. Oh, it's a dark ride. That sounds
Yeah.
even better, because let me be frank with you. I don't go on roller coasters, and I kept hearing announcements about this park. I'll say this.
Yeah.
Like, as they were announcing the Epic Universe stuff, I felt like people were like, oh, this is going to be the best park ever. It's going to be so cool. But every time they announced a new attraction, I was like, that's a coaster. I'm not going on that.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not going on that. I'm not going on that. It was like, what can I go on here? Like, I'm starting to feel like this isn't a place for me.
Yeah.
So then I heard, oh, Dark Universe, the Monsters area is getting a dark ride. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
thank you. But then I heard it was on the Harry Potter system, where it's on this kukla arm or whatever
yeah,
they call it,
kind of
where
holds
it's like,
you, and it can point you or motion simulate as anything it wants.
and I ain't really vibing with that either. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, I'm sensitive with this stuff. I don't want to be flung around like, oh
Yeah.
man, like why can't it just be an Omnimover or something?
Yeah.
Like, oh, what a bummer.
Yeah.
And man, I just was so sad to hear that.
Mm.
So I kept, people I know got to go to the previews, got to
Yeah.
go to stuff, and I kept asking them. I'm like, all right, can I go on it? What
Yeah.
do you think? I'm a wuss with rides.
Yeah.
And it was so frustrating because I would talk to people and they're like, bro, it's not as rough as the Harry Potter one. It's a dark ride.
Yep.
So you're in that thing, but it's just showing you stuff.
Yep.
It's not a fast ride. It's not a coaster, and there's no drops. And really, that's my main problem is drops. So like, okay, you're fine. Yes. And then the next day I would have someone, oh, dude, do not go on that ride. Do not. And it was really frustrating. You know, oh, you're going to hate it. It is so loud, and I'm also very jumpy. So things that are jump scares, I don't handle well. And they're like, oh, dude, it's got all the above. It's flinging you around. You're not going to be able to handle it. You're not. It's like, oh, man. And what was really depressing too is that I took a chance. I want to say thank you to everybody who booked a Cameo from me on the Cameo app, because that's what funded the trip. I said, hey, Cameo, I want to do some vids at Epic Universe, talk about Epic Universe and visit it. Yeah. And Cameo, hey, respect, took care of it. So thank you to everybody who booked a Cameo. I appreciate that. And that's why we're here. So thank you again. But anyway, I booked the trip. I'm like, we gotta go. We gotta see it. And even if it's a negative review, we'll see. Yeah. So I booked it, and it was like as soon as I paid for the damn trip. Yeah. All these people, started coming out of the woodwork. Yo, do not go on that ride.
Dude, it will fuck
you up.
It will.
It's gonna. You're in for a bad time. You're in for a bad time. Yeah. And it's like, cool. I'm glad I'm hearing that now. Yeah. It just really took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah. The thing I look forward to the most at this park, you're saying I can't go on.
And then at the last minute, we went to PAX. Yeah. Our friend Jack Patillo. I never say his last name out loud.
Yeah, I never say his last name out loud either.
Well, Jack, you have to let us know. Sorry, Jack.
Yeah.
We've known him for years, but I've only written his name. I've never said it out loud. But Jack, formerly of Achievement Hunter, Rooster Teeth, all that stuff. He's a big theme park guy, and he had already been to Epic Universe. I saw him at PAX, and he was like, no, you got to go on. And his description of it was great. Yeah. He said, bro, they just shove you into 10 different metal album covers. Yeah. It's like, it's not jump scares. It's like, imagine a dozen Iron Maiden album covers, and they just shove you into it. It's like, I was like, okay, all right, I'm in. But kept hearing mixed stuff. So I said, all right, Kevin, you'll be the final verdict. Yeah. If the wait times are short enough, you go on it first,
and then I'll report
and come back, and you give me the final verdict.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. The wait times. It's funny that this park has been up and down with the wait times. There's days where everything is 15 minutes, and then the next day, it's all 150 minutes. But Monsters, I think, is a people eater. Yeah, no pun intended.
That ride system's great. It's one of the ones that never stops. It just consistently moves, so you just get on a platform to get on it.
Yeah, and the wait time is never bad.
Wait time is never bad.
All day yesterday.
I think it got up to 35 at
That was the highest I ever saw.
The highest I ever saw it.
But it well worth that wait. Yeah. But anyway, so I said, you go on it. I said, you go. Yeah. And Kevin went, and I went to the gift shop. I chilled in there.
Exit.
Which, by the way, side note, the one piece of merch I wanted at this park that I was looking forward to was so what's really cool about Dark Universe at the park is they had Danny Elfman do the score.
Yes.
Like world-renowned composer does all the music in that land. Yeah. Hell yes. And I love a good theme park soundtrack. I have a bunch on my computer and all that stuff. But they released a vinyl record. It's the only way to get the soundtrack. Yeah. No digital release. It is a vinyl record. I think that's so cool. Yeah. And it was not there. It was sold out.
It was sold out. They said they sold out a few days ago.
Yeah, they said they said online like it sold out during previews, and they said no, we're gonna do a full restock when the park opens. Okay, and it was gone. It was gone when we got there.
We got it.
That breaks my heart. That was like the one thing I wanted. So I'm already in the gift shop. Yeah. Depressed.
Yep.
Then I thought this was awesome too. I saw that this made me so happy as a figure collector. Figure update, is my passion. They made figures of all the main characters from the ride. And I'm like, that's so cool. I haven't been on the ride. I don't know if I want these. Yeah. But that's so cool they did that. They're not painted great.
Yeah, I can see that.
But for theme park.
And where else are you going to get the ones themed to the actual ride and stuff like that?
They sold Victoria Frankenstein and Dracula and whatever. And I thought that was really cool. But as I mentioned, they're not painted great. And then I want to commend them for doing this. Yeah. I'm glad they did it. But the sets, it was 2 figures, and each set was $86. Guys. And you had to buy, I think, 2 sets to get them all.
Yeah, to get all of them, you had to get 2 sets.
86 each?
86.
Guys, you saw the figures.
Yeah.
Were those 40 a piece?
No.
Those were like $15 figures.
Yeah,
guys.
That was too much.
And it sucks. I really wanted to support that.
Yeah.
But, man, as a figure collector, they let me down.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you hurt me today. So anyway, that's what I'm going through. And then Kevin comes off the ride.
Yeah.
He walks into the gift shop. I'm like, oh, you just did the ride. All right, what's the verdict? Kevin looked stone-faced. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Like someone told him they packed Reese's Pieces for lunch. And he goes, you have to go on the ride. You have to go.
Yeah. I think I also said later it would be criminal if you didn't go on this ride.
Yeah.
Like.
So I'm like, okay, so it's not a fast ride? No.
I explained every detail of it. I was like,
Yeah.
it does this, it does this.
You know, I guess.
Not spoilery. I just go, the movement.
Yeah.
Like.
It takes you up, but it's not flinging you up.
No, you're just showing you above you.
Yeah, and you're not going feet overhead like some parts, I guess, of Harry Potter.
Yeah. No. I don't think you go feet overhead really in Harry Potter.
Don't you a little bit?
Not. I don't remember.
Really?
I've done that 1,000 times.
I thought you did like a little bit.
You get on your back, but I never felt like I was sliding up the thing or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
But technicians out there, let me know.
Yeah.
But I thought you did.
But
Anyway.
nothing crazy. Like.
Right.
It was basically, I was like, you could do every movement in this thing.
Okay. So I said, all right, fine. Let's barge it. Let's go. We get on it. Now let's just get into the ride.
Yeah.
You walk through the Frankenstein Manor, the castle.
You're just going through like library, living room, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Super well designed.
So
there's
cool.
flashes of lightning, and then there's black light, like stuff that show up in the
Yeah.
lightning on the wall.
Like.
Who is the real monster?
Yep.
You know, stuff like that. Then you're going through the queue. Oh, this I wanted to share with you because we didn't talk about this. There's great lore. I love, if your theme park land has lore, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I know Galaxy's Edge doesn't have as much going on as it could have, but it has a ton of lore, and I'm like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Anyway, you go through all the different rooms, and there's one room that has like the family tree of the Frankenstein family. You know, so it's got like, over here is Henry Frankenstein, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so. Did you notice that Victoria Frankenstein, it's hard to follow, like, where does she come from?
Yeah.
It looks like her photo is slapped onto it. And people who have gone through the land, who have done the meet and greets with, like, sometimes Frankenstein is walking around with the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
People talk to them, and the bride does talk. And they've talked to her about, oh, I'm about to go to Frankenstein Manor. That the Bride of Frankenstein will say, like, yeah, I'm not sure about her. What? I question her lineage.
Really?
Yeah, and they said that manor was abandoned for decades. And now she's just in there.
Yeah.
I question where she came from.
Yeah.
Like, kind of questioning, she may not be from the family.
Yeah.
And people have said, like, this all matches up because when you look at that family tree, it's like she took it and stuck her face on it.
Oh.
It doesn't make, when you look at it,
It looks
follow
like-
it doesm make sense. So they're saying, like, she's a freak that took over that castle.
Like Frank and Valor. Like.
Frankenstolen.
That's it.
But anyway, so great lore,
Yeah.
you know. But I gotta take anything that makes me sweat. I'm taking off. Anyway, so that interesting kind of piece of the story.
Yeah.
But they definitely have the entire Frankenstein library there of all of the things they've studied.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the queue was there is a withering, decrepit corpse of a Frankenstein monster.
Like in a pod or behind glass.
Behind glass.
Yeah.
That an X-ray thing is going over and showing you how it's made.
Yeah. It's like each part.
And when
coming up.
and when you read the readout, it calls it the version 1.0. And it's like, oh, that's the Boris Karloff
it looks
Frankenstein.
like him and
it's got his likeness, but
Yeah.
it's just rotted away.
Yeah.
It's just in this thing, and they're going over all his parts.
Yeah.
And it's so cool they've got him in there as the like prototype.
Yeah. The first Frankenstein's
from
monster.
how many years ago?
Yeah.
That was so dope.
Yeah.
And then you get deeper in the queue and you go through the foyer and there's cool statues and stuff. But then you go deeper into the labs and there's video on the wall of them capturing famous monsters.
Yeah. Like, it's going through and it's like, oh, they're going after the Wolfman. They're going after Swamp Thing. Not Swamp Thing. Creature of the Black Lagoon.
I guess his name technically is the Gill Man.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
That's just a funny name, Gill Man.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's like rough VHS footage.
Yeah, it
of
looks
them
like found
captured.
footage, and it looks kind of like Resident Evil, like cutscene kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of like scary, kind of night stuff.
Yeah, parts of it look like PT.
Yes.
Where they're capturing like Dracula's brides.
Dracula's brides, yeah.
And they're finding them, and then they're like the brides all of a sudden are on them. You know, the face, almost like Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa when she grabs you and
Yeah.
stuff. Yep.
So that was really well done. Yeah, what else?
Then after that is like the experiment on the bat. It's like a vampire bat that they're like captured.
There's a vampire bat that they're like shocking in captivity.
To keep it captive to lead to the story that's later and stuff like that of like, oh, this is testing this system to keep him in place.
And there's notes on the wall that are like, oh, this is one of many. To study vampires, we need more bats. They're evolving. Like some of these are transformed. They're trying to study the genetic makeup of a vampire transforming into a bat.
Yeah.
Like who has this ability.
Yep.
And really what it's all leading to is Victoria Frankenstein, the so-called great-granddaughter of Henry Frankenstein, is trying to clear the family name.
Yeah, because
sort of.
Oh, they tarnished the family name. I'm going to do something that brings us back on the map. That shows us like the Frankenstein family is capable and good of doing. Like,
is a powerful force.
Yes.
And not a mockery. You know, whatever. And so you go into the pre-show. First part of the pre-show is the assistant Igor tells you how the ride vehicle is going to be.
Which
and I'm telling you right.
Think, yeah.
Yes. It's on video right here, guys. Bookmark this. Whatever timestamp this is, you heard it here first. They're going to get rid of this part.
Yep.
Because they show a little model of the ride vehicle.
Yeah, it's like just sitting there behind glass.
And Igor shows you how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And he's messing it up. He keeps hitting the stick. So it shows the ride system going.
Yeah, it's going like, whoa.
It's whipping around.
Whipping around like crazy.
I kept hearing, even before we went here, I kept hearing people go, yeah, I saw that and I chickened out. I left. But then a cast member told me, no, that's a joke. The ride doesn't go that violent. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing other people complain about that too. Then I saw it in person, and even I knew it wasn't going to be that scary, and I was getting scared watching it. I'm like, does it move that much?
Yeah.
And I saw other people in the pre-show go, nope, never mind.
Yeah, people
and
were bailing even when we were in there.
So mark my word, that gag is going to go away.
Yeah.
They already got rid of one gag, I guess. When you look at the ride vehicle, there's only 3 people in it because when the park opened, there was a kid like dead on the ground.
Yeah, he was like in the bottom of the enclosure.
Little morbid humor.
Yeah.
And I guess that lasted a few days, and they were like, yo, that's morbid. Get rid of that. So they got rid of it. Now there's only 3 people. But anyway, so he tells you how it's going to be. You're going to be thank you for volunteering as part of our experiment.
Yeah.
And then you go into the next room, and the next room of the pre-show is Victoria Frankenstein. It's an animatronic of her.
Yeah.
And she tells you all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna do all kinds of new experiments. Let me give you an example. And they turn a spotlight on, and there is a gigantic Frankenstein animatronic.
Yeah, it's just
and the light hits him, and he responds. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's so fluid.
Yeah.
One of the best animatronics I've ever seen.
Mm.
And he's responding in real time. Yeah, and he's shy. It's like, oh, hi everybody.
Yeah.
And then she reveals the plan, and I love this lore.
Yeah.
She reveals the plan. She goes, we've been doing experiments to capture around the world what they call monsters, like things in the night with these abilities, and study them and learn how to use them. And we're doing that, but our greatest challenge, the one thing we've never been able to crack, is the captivity and harnessing of the power of Count Dracula.
Yeah.
I love that it just put him on the pedestal.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
all these other, listen, Wolfman, we got him in a cage, we dug up the mummy,
Yeah.
you know, there's like all this stuff with amazing abilities.
Yeah.
The one thing that has eluded us is Count Dracula.
Yeah.
The legendary Count Dracula. But we have him in captivity.
He's in like a circle thing, and
Yeah.
he's like held together by like electricity, lots of electricity. Or something.
And they said, but we this is our greatest challenge, and we're gonna solve it today.
Yeah.
And then as she's explaining Frankenstein hits gets mad, like he goes, oh, me no like Dracula or whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that.
Yeah.
But, and then he knocks over an electricity thing.
Transformer or something, some big coil.
Yeah.
That falls
Tesla
over.
coil. I
Tesla
guess.
coil. Yeah.
And is that what loosens Dracula's grip, or does Dracula do that himself?
I
I
think
kind of couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell. There's stuff going on the screen that I was watching later when that was happening, and it like you could tell something was going on. He was like figuring something out. Dracula was.
Dracula is escaping, and suddenly, for a second, he possesses all the screens.
Yes.
Like, I will kill you, and then they zap him back.
Yeah. And he's
they're
contained.
like, okay, we're gonna need you to come with us because we need to finish this experiment.
Yeah.
And capture Dracula and like be done with it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. And so then you go into the next room, and first you put all your stuff in lockers. You it's one of those rides. You got to put things in lockers.
Yep. And it uses your face, like it.
Yeah, it was Face ID.
Yeah, so you don't need a key or anything like that. You just hit a button. It says, "Look at the camera," and it goes, "This you?" Yep. And then a locker opens up, and then you just do the same thing at the end of the ride.
If you all love privacy, you'll love
Yeah.
Epic Universe, where they
Yep.
use.
Facial ID.
I showed up to the turnstile at the beginning of the day, and they went, "Oh, you're all good, Rocco. You're good." I was like, "I haven't shown you my ticket." They're like,
Yeah,
"No, we recognized you."
Yeah. Like, okay.
Okay. Yikes. Anyway, but yeah, so you lock all your stuff up, and then you go into the experiment room, and it's a big ass rotating room that the vehicles are on, and they lock you in, and the you know, I'm sorry, but I'm a big scaredy cat, so when these giant restraints,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Kevin, I'm just telling you my thoughts.
Yeah.
So then you rotate into the beginning of the ride.
Yeah.
I started seeing how high up we were.
Yeah, you're high up.
And that thing puts you on an arm 100 feet above ground. And
Yeah.
I'm going, motherfucker, what did you talk me into? I'm this high up. We're dangling. Do you know me?
But that's all for the gear. You don't even, there's nothing even like, that's all for the wheels and the mechanics.
So then they go, and then you see Igor, and he's like, all right, trust me, you're gonna like this.
Yeah, he's got a joystick.
And then he goes, I'll take control of the vehicles here. And when he takes control, you feel a jerk.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna kill Kevin. I'm gonna kill this guy. Why did we go on this? Why am I here? And then they take you around. Oh, first of all, the first ride through, they immediately, you hear a bell going off, and they tilt you up.
You're looking
to see
at
a bell, and it broke down.
We're sorry. Like, or it's Igor, it's Victoria Frankenstein.
Yeah, stay in your seat as we fix the ride or whatever. And we're like that. And I'm going, Kevin, what are we doing?
Having a fun ride.
So the bell freezes, everything freezes.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first time that the bell had Quasimodo in it.
Yeah.
He's ringing the bell.
He's like dark in there. They light him when you're actually riding the ride for real.
But anyway, whatever. We were there for a little bit, and I just tried to think happy thoughts.
Yeah.
And then they take you down from there, and you go around, and you see they've got randomly the Phantom.
Yeah.
From the Phantom of the Opera.
Yep.
And he's playing an organ with flames shooting
They're
out.
just shooting out of the pipe.
And I'm like, yep, Jack was right. These are metal album covers.
Yep.
And he's looking at you. It was like, this rules.
Yeah.
But then you get around to, we're not going to go through every step of the ride necessarily, but you pan around, and then Dracula is there, and he goes, oh, prepare to die because I broke free.
Yeah.
And they send you flying, and this was the most scared I was.
Yeah.
Because here's the vehicle and they send you away. And Kevin, the way Kevin set this up, I thought we're just going to this scene, to that scene, to that scene, to this scene. Nope, the Dracula goes, I'm free, and then he blasts with energy, does a Kaioken blast, and your vehicle doesn't do this. It goes like this. Ready? It goes. That was me when that happened. The G-force of that, I'm sure. Listen, there's a million of you that's like, dude, that was nothing. I don't go on rides like that.
Yeah.
So the G-force of being up and going over there, that's not a feeling I'm used to.
Yeah.
I was going, oh, well, I'm gonna slip out of this and run away.
Yeah.
How can I get out? I was scared shitless during that.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh, if this is what this ride is, this, you know what's scary about it for me is I don't like the feeling of this arm that you're in feels so powerful. It feels like, this could punch me through a wall.
Oh yeah, it could. 100%.
I don't like the feeling that a robot could kill me at any point.
But it can't reach any of the walls.
But man, it was like, I can't believe this. But I'm happy to report it never got worse than that.
Yeah.
It did that a few more times. And there's even a point where the Wolfman is chasing after you.
Yeah.
And they keep you up, like you're escaping from him, like as he's climbing
he's
up there.
climbing, he's going over the wood that you're going under,
Yeah.
and he meets you at the end.
And even that's kind of gnarly, like, whoa. But it never got worse than that feeling.
That initial, after the first Dracula.
Yeah. So that made me happy, but I was nervous about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went through and, what's the... there is one part, only one, where they dip you down.
Yeah.
Because the whole ride, they keep showing you stuff up there. Okay, you're here. Showing up there, down you're here. There is one dip. It wasn't a drop. So that's all I cared about.
No.
Where you go outside and they're like, be careful, don't touch anything. Don't let anything touch you.
Yeah.
If you're going outside. Which, by the way, the whole lore of this ride is you're going down into, they said there's catacombs under the castle that are filled with these monsters. And Dracula has freed them all.
Yeah.
And
Let
so at one point they tell you just got to go outside. Like there's too much shit in here.
Yeah, it's too dark.
Go outside.
Yeah.
And so you go outside and then those assholes for 1 second. This is the closest, I would say, closest to a jump scare, but it wasn't really.
Yeah.
Is they dip you to the Gill Man. The creature from the Black Lagoon gets his cameo. Bam! And he's down there.
Yeah.
And I thought it was more funny than... It was. I'm glad. And I was telling you earlier, I know a lot of horror movie buffs were happy that the creature made it in. Because he wasn't in any of the advertising for the ride or anything. But Black Lagoon fans, rise up. He made it in. But anyway, and so all that, they're chasing after Dracula. And I was telling Kevin, what was so impressive was there are times that they're trying to convey story in a dark ride that they have to use a movie to do it. And this ride did some of it. It was giant animatronics, and then you'd see some action unfold on a screen, and then they would continue it as animatronics, and then a screen, and
they
blended
well.
So well.
Really, really well.
And that was really well done, but there's a part where they go, yo, we need sunlight. That's the only way to kill Dracula. And so they start aiming a sunlight beam, and I thought, they're going to do all this through a movie. You're starting to see a movie start up, video. And then you go into the next room, and there's a full animatronic Frankenstein with like a mirror.
Yeah.
And they shine the sunlight, and he catches the reflection and aims it at
you can see the reflection
Dracula and his brides.
Yeah.
And they
start steaming and blowing up.
Their wounds blow smoke like that. And I'm like, you did all that without a movie?
Yeah.
And they're using a movie too.
Yes.
They're using
Blended
video
again.
to show them all, like the places blowing up.
Yeah.
But the fact that animatronics are doing that is really, that they conveyed Frankenstein taking the reflection and turning it and hitting all the vampires, and it works. You don't go like, what are they doing? Because like, let me tell you, we went on the dinosaur ride at Animal Kingdom, and there was a part where I saw the dinosaur at the end with a grid over it.
Yeah, and it's like, what is that grid?
And I was like, is he going into Tron?
Yeah.
And then Kevin told me it's supposed to be a net.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
You're supposed to you're capturing the dinosaur.
Didn't convey at all.
No.
So that's why this was extra impressive to me.
Yeah.
Was that the whole conceit of him harnessing the sunlight and using it was not a movie. It was an animatronic, and it was clear.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, what did I just see? So that was extremely cool. There's one effect that has not been working for a lot of people.
Yes.
If you want to talk about
Yeah.
that.
It was basically at the end, everybody's getting blasted with a lot of sunlight and stuff like that. But Dracula does one final rush towards you. He's like climbing through on a screen, like climbing through a bunch of falling pillars and everything like that. And then lunges, and then you go past this thing, and then Dracula's there.
Well, the movie shows him flying over you, and then the movie stops, and an animatronic is supposed to continue it.
It's supposed to keep flying. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It hasn't. It barely works.
He's stuck in one spot,
And
just going,
he kind of goes, "Ugh," but he doesn't fly out.
Yeah.
But Victoria Frankenstein blasts him.
Yeah.
As the final thing of the ride.
Yeah.
And I keep reading stuff like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Didn't work for us.
Most people have not seen
So
that
most people haven't seen that work. There's videos on YouTube of it working.
Yeah.
And it looks cool, but that is apparently just really hard to keep going.
Yeah.
I hope they can find a way to make that work consistently.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought that's a cool ending. It just could be cooler if it had that.
Yeah, if
slight
that thing
little
was working,
movement.
if they could fix that.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then they're like, and then she's there at the end and says like, the people will always remember the Frankenstein name.
Yeah.
Monsters everywhere will bow to the Frankenstein name. And it's like, oh, was that your true intention then? It was power.
The power. Yeah.
So whatever. Anyway, and then you get to the end, and Igor's like, "Thanks, wasn't that fun?" Yeah. And I think he says only good reviews. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then vampire bats maul him to death.
Yep.
I spent the first half of the ride going, I will never talk to Kevin again. I hate this guy. Shame on him for suckering me into this. And then the second half of the ride, when it ended, I was like, my adrenaline is high. I want to go on that again.
Yeah.
We went on it again. I think we went on it five or six times.
5 or 6 times total.
I think that's one of the best rides Universal has ever made.
Yep.
It's still a little too much for me. Like that movement is still not like, I don't like, is still to me.
Yeah.
But I was telling Kevin, I'm like that with Pirates of the Caribbean as well. I still hate that drop.
You
at
just
the
put
beginning,
up with it.
But it's worth the ride to do it. And it's quick.
So you're glad I got you on the ride.
Let's not go there.
Sounds like
yes,
you're glad.
fine, okay, yeah. But I couldn't get a read on it, so I'm glad we finally I finally did it.
Yeah.
I think that. So on this trip, we stopped at one point by regular Universal Studios, and we did the ET ride. I think 100 times.
We did it so many times. That's the best ride there.
Yeah, that's all I cared about. I was like, I'm buying a ticket just to. It should be called an ET ticket.
Yes.
An e-ticket. Wait, never mind. But we went on that a million times, and that's it. I think that's my favorite ride by Universal ever.
Yeah.
I think this is right up there.
Yep.
It's like it's just enough of a thrill that it's whoa.
Yeah.
But it's not a roller coaster. It was just right for like monster. It felt like a heavy metal monster ride.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't. They didn't. Oh, I spared no expense. They could have easily put like that giant 10-foot Dracula on a screen.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They put the screen behind him, and he was just this giant animatronic.
Yeah. That's what blew me away the most is you see Dracula the first time and he's a big animatronic. Okay.
Yeah.
But then there's a point way later in the ride where hell is just breaking loose. Mm-hmm. And you're going, you're just seeing hell break loose, and you think like, oh well, Dracula will just be part of the video.
Yeah.
But there's a gigantic animatronic of just him going, "Welcome to hell" or whatever he says.
Are you? Don't tell me you're afraid of the dark.
Or
something
like that. And it's like that. That would have been so easy to put him in the video.
Yeah.
But nope, another 10-foot animatronic of him.
Yeah.
Like that. It's awesome.
It's so good. We rode it so many times. We just kept going on and on, like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because there was like no wait.
Yeah.
So.
And then it started pouring rain, and we did that 100 times.
Yeah, we didn't want to go out in the rain, so we just kept going on it.
Yep.
And just to dry off and
it got dark and rainy, and thunder and lightning started, and it was like, well, this sucks, but for theming, this is the best land to be in.
Yeah. During the thunder and lightning and stuff like that, this is the place to be.
There was the point we were in the hallway in Frankenstein Manor, and thunder clapped so loud, and we went, Was that real? Or is that part of the ride?
Was that the theming?
We
Or was
actually
that-
couldn't tell, and I'm
Yeah.
like, then that means we're in the right place.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Yeah, so that was, I mean, that we covered that land extensively.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about, there is what I thought was maybe the most impressive, just from a general standpoint, but weird, was the Harry Potter theme. And I say Harry Potter themed. It is clear that when they built this park, they wanted to build a land themed around the Fantastic Beasts.
That franchise, that
and
bit, yeah.
and then halfway through building it, realized, oop, no one cares. They just built the streets of Paris.
Yeah, it has like no Harry Potter theming on the outside.
You wouldn't know it was Harry Potter
Yeah.
until you got deep into the attractions.
Yep.
Where they made some tweaks where clearly, oh, this is from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But they just built the streets of Paris in like 1920 something. And I guess that's where the Ministry of Magic was back then, or something like that.
Yeah. But the theming is great because you're just walking around the streets of Paris back then, and it's really cool. And
the buildings are as tall as
Yeah.
they would be. It was unbelievable. The scale of it
Yeah.
was incredible.
Yeah.
And what made me I hate Harry Potter, to be honest.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not a big.
I didn't
I'm not
care
a big
about
Harry Potter.
going.
Yeah.
But why the land ended up being really cool to me was that it was, like you said, it wasn't playing the Harry Potter music when we walked in. It was old Parisian. It was like old recordings and stuff. There were old jazz. There were jazz players playing on the sidewalk.
Yeah, just playing live performers and
And-
stuff.
So I'm like, if you didn't know this was Harry Potter, you wouldn't know. You just went to Paris with some kind of magical thing going on.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna talk a little bit of smack here, but how many people out there dog walked Galaxy's Edge? Because where's the John Williams music? Where's the John Williams music? And what they were doing with Galaxy's Edge was making it where it just felt like you were in an alien planet. Here's the sounds, the sights, the smells of an alien planet. You're hearing aliens bicker in the window, a cantina band playing in there. But people get so mad that it's not blaring the Star Wars music all the time.
Yeah.
And I always disagreed with that. But now, here we have this land, this Ministry of Magic land, or whatever it's called. They're doing what Galaxy's Edge did. They're just playing ambient audio. You're hearing a, what do you call it? Accordion, or what do you call that?
I think so.
Street performer music.
Yeah,
or something.
I don't remember exactly.
But you're
what
hearing
it is,
all
but
that stuff.
Yeah.
Until you go into the ride, and let's talk about that. The battle at the Ministry, or whatever it's called. You go into it's almost like a subterranean area of the city, and there is what they call a flue.
Yeah.
What is that? Like a chimney?
I think
area?
so. Yeah. They have a neat effect where the smoke will come up as it senses your arrival to the thing, and so it will just blast you with steam.
It's like you're going through a chimney.
Yeah.
And then you come out and you are somewhere else.
Yep,
you are in the
completely.
Ministry of Magic.
Yep, and it's massive.
And yeah.
And
once you do that, what happens? They're playing the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They save it for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
That's what Galaxy's Edge is doing. I don't get why one's okay and one's not.
Yeah.
In Galaxy's Edge, people go, oh, there's no John Williams music anywhere in the park. No, there is. You don't hear it in the land, and then guess what? Rise of the Resistance kicks in, and all right, recruits, go out there, and the doors open. And it's way more dramatic.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And they did it here too, in the Harry Potter thing, and it was great.
Yeah.
So, all I'm saying is, all you Galaxy's Edge haters, you just ate crow. Or what's the Harry Potter? You just ate owl.
Yeah. That would be it.
Because that effect works.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to the, you know, you go on the Millennium Falcon or you build a lightsaber, that music starts to kick in.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, something's happening right now. Or Kylo Ren shows up from the ship. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
They save it for the moments. Anyway, they did it really well in that Harry Potter.
They did.
And then you're in this queue where there's posters that they're about to do a trial for Dolores Umbridge.
That's it.
Who I guess is an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about.
I don't know much about the Harry Potter.
She's a
story
bad
either.
teacher or something.
And I think that affected our knowing things about the storyline of the
Yeah,
ride.
because when we went through the ride, it was like, so what? Who was good and who was bad? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, that queue, I would say, you never know that you're in the longest queue of all time.
It is. I know it's very deceptive.
It's endless.
Once you're inside, you are barely at the end of it.
I thought like, whoa, we're in here, and the next room will go on the ride.
Yeah.
Nope. You're going through the rest of the city.
Yeah, there's like 10 more rooms to go to. Awesomely themed rooms.
Extremely awesome.
And like the queue is cool, but expect a long wait even when you've gone into that area.
Yes.
It's AC, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a long queue. But cool, it had some animatronic stuff. It had some effects like talking paintings.
There's a little Dobby guy.
Yep.
I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
And then I said, Kevin, I'm not even worried about this ride because from what I heard, now I was a little nervous when I heard about it because it's an elevator.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Tower of Terror? No, thank you. But then I heard, yeah, but it's mostly simulated.
Yes.
And I went, okay, if it's
It's a
simulated,
motion simulator.
yeah, I don't want to drop in altitude, but if it's simulated, cool. And then I looked at the vehicle and it's like you're barely strapped in. You're a bunch of people sitting in
It's
an
a seat
elevator.
with a thing, yeah.
But I have to say, once we got to it, I got a little scared because I'm like, it does look like a Tower of Terror.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the line was so long, I didn't ride it first.
Yeah.
We were both going in blind.
I'm like,
so-
I'm going in and I don't know anything about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
When that ride started, it goes, oh, don't worry, this elevator might be a little wobbly. And the elevator at that point goes, dirt, 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 like that. And I went, I'm gonna kill myself.
Couldn't blame me for that one.
Nope. I heard that the ride would stop if people moved around a lot. I was about to move around. I was about to go, like to end it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was very scary to me. The first, it's like, oh no, it's Umbridge. She zaps you and your elevator falls and you go down here and you go. And then I'm like, oh no. And then I focused on the screen and I'm like, yeah, this is all a simulation.
Yeah, it's all, screen's doing all the work.
They're blowing us with wind. They're tilting you a little bit. They're tilting you
it's
that way.
just enough to have enhance what's going on screen.
And they did a great job. It was like, damn, you sold me.
Yeah.
There's a point where a big creature starts hitting the vehicle and it's, oh shit. I was going like, oh shit, it's hitting us.
Yeah.
They really brilliantly merged projection with animatronics.
Yeah, it was seamless.
There were parts where are they Death Eaters? Is that what those guys are called? The guys with masks.
So.
and
Yeah,
long?
yeah.
Is that what they are?
I think so.
Anyway, I thought they were actors.
Yeah,
I'm still actually not sure. Are there actors in there?
The costume animatronics were so
He's going
lifelike.
like, and then he sees you.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And I'm like, was that a person?
Yeah.
And big ass creature. They merged all kinds of different sets. I was very impressed by it. I don't know what you thought.
I was too, and I was very impressed. I love how we've just figured out we don't need 3D glasses for rides anymore.
And it didn't hit me till later. I was like, that was immersive, and we weren't wearing the glasses.
Nope.
Yeah.
And it's because it's not all screen. They build the 3D into it by putting stuff in front of the screen.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And they do this thing that I see a lot where as you're moving, the video's moving too, like in terms of
parallax.
Yes. Like it's like background's moving as
Spider-Man was kind of the first to do it. Yeah.
And they do that a lot, and it really, really enhances and makes your brain think it's 3-dimensional.
So I thought it was extremely cool.
Yes. They had like other elevators that would be in front of you. Those are real. Then they're with projections in them, like the people in them and stuff. So I thought that was really well done. There's a couple of even like animatronic humans later on, that I thought were really well done. Projection looks a little weird on the face.
Yeah, they were using some projection face that I was kind of laughing at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So not perfect, but
other than that, I thought it was a decent ride. I always the monster one
the monster one was the king.
was king, but this one I still think was super entertaining.
Yeah.
super fun to go on. Had some flaws, but nothing that made it like, oh, I never want to go on that again or anything.
It's really crazy because when this park first opened, the reports coming back were, oh, the Harry Potter ride is the best theme park ride ever invented. I think because people were so caught off guard, they didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
So that was the report coming out. And then you got the second wave of people that are going now that are going like, yeah, this isn't that great.
Yeah.
Because they heard it was the best ride of all time. And they're going, it's an elevator with a projector.
Yeah,
okay. I was lucky to hear both. So I was like, okay, I've heard both ends of the spectrum. And now that I've been on it, it's a great ride, but it's not as good as Monsters.
No, it's a great ride.
Big animatronics will always win.
Yes.
And they have more on that.
Yep. So that was like, of the 3 big rides I rode on, I loved them all.
Yeah.
I thought they were great.
I'll say this, again, I don't mean to sound like, we went to woke universe, but I already used that gag up earlier. What kills me is I love corny ass theme park merch. If I love a ride and they have a shirt that has like the company from the ride, you got me.
Yep.
I love investigating merch also for our own use for Creepy Old or Mega 64.
Yeah.
We make merch there. We design it ourselves and stuff. And I like getting ideas, and so I'm always looking at the merch. And it kills me because I think there was some great merch for this elevator ride. Yeah. Ministry elevator ride. And like it was the company that runs the Flu.
Yes.
And Ministry of Magic and all those just branding. Didn't say Harry Potter. But I don't want to be caught dead wearing any of it.
No.
I don't the low-life witch that owns the franchise is such a life suck that I don't want anything to do with any of it.
Yeah.
And it just sucks. That ride is so dope, and it's tainted by that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like sweating on you.
Oh, no,
I'm dripping so much.
I didn't get splashed. I'm not in the
you
splash
will.
zone.
On the I'm sorry if this is a spoiler for the monster ride, but when you see the Wolfman, he slobbers on you.
Yeah, you get
and
sprayed.
I got it in my eyes. It was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I felt like I did that to you. But anyway, it's such a poisoned well that I really love the merch from it, and I'm like, if I was caught dead wearing any of this, I would be embarrassed.
Yeah.
So I left, and it just sucks that one miserable toad of a human could cast a dark cloud over something cool like that. So anyway, sorry about if I'm being a bummer, if I'm being Mr. Negative here, but I'm just being real. It's like why do I want to bring that energy to any function?
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. That's cool. I got the Dark Universe shirt instead.
There was another shirt you wanted, but they didn't have enough of them or something.
Yeah, what was it?
I can't remember what they had ones that had like each land on it, but that had like again Harry Potter over here.
Yeah, they had
How to Train Your Dragon over here.
Yeah,
it's like
they had a really gaudy Epic Universe shirt with every character ever invented.
You saw some people wearing it.
Yeah,
and
I was like, it's so gaudy.
And they were sold out.
Well, I found them, but they had the dude from Fantastic Beasts, and I don't want that on a shirt. Like, who cares about that? But we should say, while we were in that land, we saw the show.
The circus thing.
Yeah, and that was, again, clearly low-key, under the table, inspired by Fantastic Beasts. It was not a Harry Potter thing.
No.
And I was just told, it's cool, check it out, it's a magic show. Was it a magic show?
No, it started out as slightly like
they were gonna do a magic show.
And then it got turned on its head, which is what I enjoyed. Like,
it ended up being a weird creature show.
Yep.
A woman accidentally releases a beast who release a ton of beasts. And so all of a sudden a gigantic tiger-like monster runs out on stage. And they were all like big puppets and animatronics.
Yeah.
And I love that stuff. Yep. So the show was very cool.
The show was very, very cool.
But it wasn't a magic show. Everyone just told me, it's just a little magic show. I was like, okay.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
But it was cool. The pre-show was cool. Everything about, I enjoyed that show for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, then weather took its toll, and we never saw How to Train Your Dragon.
A storm came, and Downpour is an understatement.
That was the hardest I've ever had water hitting me from the sky.
Yeah, it was a just wall of water.
I mean, I've been in the rain. I've been in Florida rain 100 times.
Yeah.
You're right. A wall of water.
Yeah.
It wasn't even oh, I'm wet. Ugh. It was like a bucket of water was infinitely being poured on you.
The second you walk outside, you're drenched. If you don't have
My
anything.
shoes were
Yep.
drenched to the core. Like the second I stepped out,
Yep.
it wasn't like, oh, I walked in a puddle. It was gone. It was
Yep.
gone. I was gone.
Yeah, and it was gnarly, and because of that, 90% of the rides, or half the rides, shut
Yeah.
down. So I'm glad I did the Donkey Kong ride at that point.
Yeah.
Already, but yeah, I was gonna. My plan was to wait for coasters until the end.
Yeah.
And if I had time, I would go on some of the coasters that weren't the Donkey Kong. And I ended up not being able to go on like Stardust Racers or anything like that. So maybe next time. But I'm a coaster. I like coasters. I have fun on them. But I don't ever regret not going on a coaster.
You don't prioritize them.
I don't
like you
prioritize
do a
them.
dark ride
Yes.
or whatever.
And I went on the ones again that have a dark ride segment or animatronics in them, and that's the one I did. So
Yeah.
I'm good on that. If I ever come back, I'll probably ride that at some point. But but I didn't go on any of the coasters, and we didn't see Burke.
Yeah, we didn't go there at all.
Yeah, it just downpoured.
But that's okay because I don't care at all
Yeah, I've never really seen that.
How to Train Your Dragon.
No.
And I would say if I could diss anything about the park, it's the choice of franchises. How to Train Your Dragon, I'm sure there's kids that love that, so who am I?
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
That Harry Potter land is fantastic, but it's the third Harry Potter land. I would have loved something else.
Yeah.
Like I kept hearing rumors about Middle Earth. Oh my God,
that
I
would've
would have
been
lost
so
my
cool.
mind.
Yeah.
Imagine you're going into, not the Shire, but they
Yeah.
should have done, where the elves live.
Oh,
Rousdower or whatever.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
it called? Not Minas Tirith. That's the kingdom.
I don't remember.
Dude, on the spot, I can't think of it. I can't look it up with my phone.
Mordor.
No. Oh my God! Leave a comment. What is that? Where the elves all live?
Yeah.
I know it, but on camera, I can't think of
So
stuff.
it's an A? No. I don't know.
Oh, that's burning. That's pissing me off. I know it, and now I look like a fake
Fake fan.
But anyway, yeah. So what? Oh, yeah. I wish they just would have picked other stuff.
Other IP for that.
And if they ever expand, they have to do Jurassic Park. Why is Jurassic Park not in
I
there?
would love a brand new Jurassic Park ride.
And they act like dinosaurs are real.
Yep.
They have to do that.
Yep.
So anyway, so there's definitely room to improve.
There's room. They've planned out expansion room for this park already, so maybe that could happen in the future. But for now, no.
But I have to say, for a brand new park, you know, when there's a brand new theme park, you go for a day, it's like, yeah, there's not enough to fill a day.
Yeah.
There was enough to fill a day. And that is the biggest compliment of all, because I feel like, and this might be a hot take, California Adventure is 20 years old, and I still don't think there's enough to do in one day.
I don't think so either.
By 1 o'clock, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yep.
You guys want to leave?
Yeah.
Other people won't feel the same way, but I'm like, to me, they still don't match what it should be.
Yeah.
There was a lot for me to do here. So, you may feel different, but I loved it. So anyway, what would be your rating on Epic Universe, out of 10?
Out of 10, I would say a solid 8. For a brand new park,
I think I agree.
I would say an 8. Every ride I went on, I loved. Every show I saw, I thought was great.
Yeah. And keep in mind, there are things we have in Hollywood, so we didn't do them.
Yes.
The Mario Kart ride, we might have that might add to our review
that
too.
was just gonna
but
be,
we had that.
It was a huge line, and I'm like, we have this ride. I've been on 1,000 times. I don't need to.
For the record, I really like that ride.
Yeah.
But,
I really like Mario Kart as well.
But we have it in Hollywood, so we didn't bother.
Yep.
But I would say solid 8.
Yeah, food was awesome.
Yeah, all the food we had was good.
Great.
I had cake for breakfast,
But overall, good job on them for having a smooth opening.
Yeah.
And everything was working.
Yeah.
The crowd control was really well done.
Yes.
They did a really good job.
I have to agree. For it being only a couple weeks old, that I didn't feel like, damn, this is buggy. You know,
Yep.
there were maybe some things, but
yeah.
I had a great time.
Yep.
And I would say, you know, maybe you want to go later to avoid some of the waits, but other than that, go soon. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think you have anything to lose
No,
if you want to go now or later, other than the wait time.
You, everybody should check it out as soon as possible.
I was really,
really well
impressed.
done. Yeah.
Well, other than that, we'll kind of wrap this up here.
Yeah.
We're going on long enough, but it's like a little bug here. Get out of here. Oh no, my cup. Anyway, 5-second rule. I can still refill
Yeah.
that. We did say goodbye to the Muppets 3D.
Muppets 3D.
We went the day before the final day.
Yeah, because it's so much easier. We went on like 5 times.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get on, and
Yeah.
we knew the next day it was going to be absolutely slammed, and it was.
And the fans aren't quoting it every show.
Yeah, you'll actually get a clean show where you can just watch.
Yes. So we did that. We saw it 100 times or 5, whatever. And easy to go back in, and then it was great.
Yeah.
And now that park is dead to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything-
you like Tower of Terror,
I like
and that's
that.
still cool.
Yeah, and that's it.
But I don't go on that.
because we have Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So I have that at home, and now it's the
Yeah.
the show that we used to have is now gone. So neither park has that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lame park. Yeah, it just gets lamer and lamer.
Yeah. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
It's sad it went that way. And you know, they're building a new Monsters Inc. land, but again, what's in it? Oh, a new coaster. Okay, I'm never going on that.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're going to add the Muppets. Oh, yeah, to what?
A coaster.
Another roller coaster. Okay, I'm not going on that.
Yeah.
Park is dead to me. We'll save the money every trip from now on.
Yeah.
Then we did Magic Kingdom,
Yep.
and we went there. Well, I wanted to go anyway, but they're getting rid of the, as I shared the rumor. See, I haven't seen many lizards this whole trip. There's a lizard. Just today, the beast.
That's a cute one, though.
No, it's not. None of them are. Anyway, they're getting rid of Tom Sawyer Island. Knew that was coming. We talked about that on here.
So we wanted to just spend a ton of time on that.
Yeah, didn't think they'd be dumb enough to actually go through that, but they are. The concept art they showed looks better than before, where they're going to keep a river on the Frontierland side.
Yeah.
And they're keeping the sight lines from Haunted Mansion and stuff like that. But man, what a loss for that.
I know.
It still adds a scenic quality to the entire park being there.
Yeah.
And they say, oh no, but it's going to be cool. We're going to add. Okay, let's see when it's done. On the concept art now, I'm seeing just a big flat land of concrete in front of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. And how it affects the rest of the park, that now instead of this amazing scenic thing, you have Mater. It's just this endless pursuit of lightning lane, vroom vroom, gotta go fast, rides, and we're losing the things that make the Disney parks the Disney parks.
Yes.
And all the time I have these football coaches in my replies, and I say that because every time someone is a jerk to me on Twitter, I look and they have some sports thing in their profile, and their bio says football coach. I don't know how many football coaches are there, but they will tell me like, "Oh, you're just an old man. Oh, no one go. Look, there's no wait for Tom Sawyer Island. That's why it's bad." First of all, things don't have to have a 100-minute wait to be good.
Yeah.
Okay, by that logic, get rid of Pirates.
Yeah.
Because it's 20-minute wait.
Yeah.
Like, so get rid of it.
Yeah.
By that logic, get rid of the castle.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to wait in an hour-long line. Like we could keep going.
Yeah.
It's just something so integral to what the park is. Magic Kingdom. What makes it different than Universal? It's you're going away. You're going somewhere else. You're not in your world anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, flatten that and build a cartoon character ride.
Yeah.
It's just not. They don't get it. When 2020 happened, when the pandemic happened, they lost so much of the staff and didn't bring them back. And they don't have the institutional knowledge. All the people at the top who normally would have been fought by the Imagineers who have been there for decades, all their opposition was gone, and now they can just get rid of something that doesn't make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Get rid of, a sleepy area, get rid of that. And you know, At one point, we were going through the caves on Tom Sawyer Island, and there was a point where we went through the escape caves from the fort.
Yes, there's like an escape tunnel that you can go through.
And it was so quiet and weird in there. I felt like I couldn't hear anything but my thoughts.
Yep.
And I thought, I'm in the middle of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
You can't replace that experience.
And that's getting bulldozed. Like,
and people are like, well, I never went. Me and my kids never went. That's you. That's a you problem.
yeah.
Bummer you never got to go. This lizard's getting... Look, there's another one. Look. They're starting to zoom in on the camera. Anyway. It just breaks my heart that that's people's perception of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. That's just me. And then the thing that really depressed me was I had not seen the new Country Bears.
Oh, I know. I had, and I was like going in, I'm like, I wonder what he's going to think about it.
That depressed me.
Yeah.
That it was just the same 5 Disney songs that they play in every show now.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a song from Zootopia. Here's a song from... Here's a Whole New World. Here's
You Got a Friend in Me.
I mean, it's just like, guys, make an attraction that doesn't reference it for yourself. The thing that drove me the most crazy was the gag. It's a simple Mark Davis gag in the original show where the little kid bear has a toy and it's a teddy bear. It's like the little bear has a little bear.
Yeah.
It's just a simple gag. And they don't even that clear of a joke is not there anymore. Now he's holding a plush of Big Al. It's like you've got merch of a character that's later in the show. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? The joke isn't even clear anymore. Couple funny parts.
Yeah.
Even when I was there, the guy does the violin and it's supposed to smoke. That didn't work.
Didn't work.
I did think the dudes hanging on the wall, the heads, they're making all the jokes in the show because the bears aren't funny.
Yeah.
They're just doing straight covers of Disney songs.
Yeah.
But Big Al doing Remember Me from Coco, that was funny.
Yeah.
Because he can't do it. He's like, too sad, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not
That was funny.
Yeah.
That depressed me. That was one of my favorite shows. So we'll see. Where's Magic Kingdom? So we went and saw Carousel of Progress probably 300 times.
Because we don't know what's going to happen to that.
Because who knows what the hell's next.
Yeah.
And then randomly when we were there, just that day, they opened up, it has been closed for a year or all year, the Hall of Presidents.
Just the lobby.
The lobby, so that people could look through it. And I've been hearing rumors they're getting rid of that too.
Yeah.
But going into that lobby, it was updated. So I think it's going to come back at least once.
It was cool. Like we sung in there because one, it was nice and cool in there, and it's a museum, and I loved that. Like I was just looking at all the pieces and stuff that they had in the museum.
But I have heard rumors that they do want to get rid of it, but it's like, we bulldozed so many things lately.
We gotta chill it.
Let's chill. So we'll see. Anyway, that's mostly it. We went to Epcot. We did get to see. There's a new. There's a private lounge in Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
Geo 82.
82.
But it was private for AT&T sponsors back in the 80s, and it sat dormant, and they finally opened it up to the public. Where now you could just go there. And we went just like, it's going to open right when we're there.
Yeah.
That's cool. These lizards are getting plentiful, dude.
Do you want me to shoo them off?
We may have to. We'll cut it short in a second. But anyway, good timing. We're going to be there. Let's go. So we went, and then they gave us all this stuff for going. It's like, I really like, they have the Geo 82 etched glass and all this other stuff. I was like, do you sell that stuff? Is there merch for what do you have? Again, I'm always investigating merch.
Yeah.
I like knowing about what merch things have, what are good ideas for merch. And the guy was like, no, you're here opening weekend. We want to say thank you. And they just gave it all to us. I was like, what?
As we're leaving, they're like, here's your bag, here's your etched glass.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was cool. The prices are bad for the non-alcoholic drinks.
It's 17 or something?
Yeah, we're $17 and you get that much. It was guys.
Yeah.
I ain't getting booze.
Yeah.
I asked, is it supposed to be coffee?
Yeah.
Anyway, but very cool lounge to at least visit once. Go and get a water and a snack. If nothing else, and enjoy the view. That was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool getting to go in there. There was a little secret passage into it in the
what is that area
the post
called?
show of Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. You'd enter this room with a bunch of
Project
experiments
Tomorrow
and
or whatever.
And over to the right as you exit is at the entrance to this place.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Anyway, so that was cool. I had
Yeah.
never seen Epcot, the center of Epcot, with
with all the walls down.
Yeah. It looked nice,
Yeah.
but it needs a fountain.
It needs
in the
a
middle.
fountain. It was so nice having a fountain before, and it's not there.
The
anymore.
fact that it's a
planter, yeah.
planter, I'm like, it's all going to this.
Yeah.
A plant.
Yeah.
Get a fountain.
Yep.
Anyway, other than that, it was a great trip.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
We'll miss Muppet Vision.
I
I'll miss
know.
Tom Sawyer Island.
I know.
Miss a lot of things.
Yep.
But Epic Universe, we had a great time, and thanks to Cameo for taking care of that. Thanks to the Cameo Famio for taking care of that. I'm sure there'll be more videos to come. I think next Creepy Old Crypt we should probably do the bulldoze it segment.
Yes.
On what we want to bulldoze.
Yeah.
You know, we're sad about all these things they're bulldozing, but what would we like them to bulldoze?
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. I would be so down to do that for our next episode.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and let us know in the comments. Are you going to Epic Universe anytime soon? Or what else? Any other stuff you want us to cover on the show?
Yeah.
As always, leave a comment, let us know.
Yeah.
Where the elves live. Eleanor, not Eleanor Rigby. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
We got to go. There's like lizards descending on the
I've seen
thing.
a lot of
I gotta
lizards.
turn this off. Oh, we'll end it on a sad note.
Yeah.
I think right here in these bungalows, I think that's where John Lennon, he was at the Polynesian Resort when he signed the document to end the Beatles as a business entity.
Mm.
And I think it was in there. It might be over on the other side, but I think it was right there.
I think so too.
So we'll end on that. Everyone at home, leave a comment. What's your favorite Beatles song? And post that you're sad. Don't post that you're happy, because that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Who would be happy the Beatles are gone?
Yeah.
So post your favorite Beatles song and tell me how sad you are. Okay, we'll end on that. Goodbye.